The color and the paint work on the hair, yes, there is very good gradient and shading over there, except the problem over here is that the shading looks more like diarrhea, the kind of thing I would see in a public washroom. Hi and welcome back to the channel. I'm Steven with your weekly figure news fix. This time around 19th to 24th of August 2024. Firstly, let's check out HLJ Hobby Link Japan, our affiliate partner for genuine figures, to check out the scale figures. And there are not many on pre-order this week. Yeah. I love it because sometimes there are too many figures to cover and I end up missing something. The number of figures this week, it feels just right, you know. Okay, so let's begin with something of a surprise. You know, I saw these two Momo and also Yami figures in Wonder Festival not too long ago. I assumed that they were just another 1x4 scale with a different pose, but freeing surprised me over here. 1x3 scale. So 60,000 yen for a 1x3 scale Momobilia Deviliok in Barney Sot from To Love Ru Darkness. Is it worth it? I'm not sure how to answer this question because we don't have a comparison. There are no other brands, no other options out there offering 1x3 scale fixed pose scale figures. Maybe other than third-party resin figures which go into the 4 digits territory in US dollars. So there is no direct competition or comparison over here. So I can't give you an exact answer on whether this is considered acceptable at 60,000 yen. Now over in AmiAmi, it is 66,000 yen because of taxes. They charge you the Japanese GST tax 10%. So you actually do save quite a significant amount if you get her from HLJ. Yeah, 60k. Momo is the most popular girl in To Love Ru and also my waifu as well. Yeah, I like Momo, I like Yami as well. So yeah, I like the two most popular characters in To Love Ru. And this is difficult for me because as you guys know, I'm not too fond of 1x4 scales because I find them to be very simple figures with not much detail and they are just big. That is it. But Momo is waifu material, so is it a yes or a no? My wallet says no, but my heart says yes. Moving on to the next one, we have a 1x4 scale Mia, original character by freeing 36,000 yen. And this is also a bit unusual where you get to remove her clothes. The clothes are fabric material, just that the color scheme of the entire character is very dull, very boring. You know, the whole thing is white and grey color except for the skin color, obviously. So this is a bit difficult. And if you were to remove her clothes, apparently you get to see her oppai. Freeing does make the occasional ecchi figure, though you only get to see her top, not the bottom. For me, 36,000 yen is okay for something like this, but just from the character design and color scheme alone, I'm not a fan of it. Now moving on to the next one, we have a few 1x6 scale figures. The first one is from Azur Lane. Again, San Jacinto Flavor of the Day version. Oh, so this is Flavor of the Day. By any game, only 15,000 yen. Yeah, simple black bunny figure. I know that I complain about this a lot, but 15,000 yen. And it is an Azur Lane character. That is not a bad deal at all. And I'm sure you guys would be zooming in the backside over there to see how soft that Oshiri is, squeezing into the metal rod over there. Yeah, that is probably the highlight feature of this figure. Anyways, any game makes way too many Azur Lane figures and all of them are at 1x6 scale, and because they make a lot of figures, waiting time is very long. This one is coming out only in September next year. Even though it is coming from a Chinese brand, you still wait one whole year for it. Yeah, but this is potentially a very good buy. If you are into the lower budget tier for scale figures, any game they make great figures, really, I have no complaints about them. Next, 1x6 scale, we have Ayuma Sayu illustration Riko Rihara, Little Devil Ribbon swimsuit version by Union Creative, 21,000 yen, March release next year. You know, Union Creative is one of those companies where they take very little time to release their figures. Yeah, this coming out in March is a bit fast. But at the same time, at first glance, when I saw her bikini, her swimsuit, my immediate impression was that looks like the design I see on my grandma's purse or sofa. You know what I mean over there? Let me put a random picture over here. Yeah, it looks like grandma design outfit to me, but that is from a distance. Once you look ever so closer at the figure, you look closely, that is just black and white bikini with some red color ribbons on it. Nothing out of the ordinary. Just that when I look at these pictures, it gives me a different impression on what design actually looks like. Yeah, one of those figures where you buy because you like the artist or the character design. For me, not so much. This is a bit plain and boring. Okay, moving on to the next 1x6 skill. Now, this one got quite a bit of complaints when I posted it, and I can sort of understand why. Like, Orcatoys, seriously, just stop making Urza Scarlet figures. How many? Oh, sorry, not Urza Scarlet. Juvia Luxor, same thing. Orcatoys has quite a fetish for Juvia Luxor, or is it Juvia? And also, yeah, I just mentioned the name earlier. These two fairy tale characters, they have made so many figures of them, and the face isn't even that good, especially with this figure of Juvia over here. However, it is only 24,000 yen at 1x6 scale, and there are two color options, this pink and black bikini, or this what looks like blue, is it blue or translucent outfit with a red bikini. And to be honest, both color options look amazing. Just that I do have a bit of problem with the face. I'm not sure where the problem is, but the face does not look very good over here. Yeah. As for the brand Orcatoys, they are average. I would rank them B to B minus. So yeah, based on this piece of information, B to B plus, that would make them at the level of Plum, for example, or Daiki Kogyo. Yeah, so with that in mind, will you pre-order it? Let me know down in the comments below. Okay, moving on to the next 1x6 skill. Oh, fabulous one. Date style. I'm glad that Good Smile is not limiting this date style series of figures to the 5 quintessential quintuplet sisters. They are doing it to Oshinoko, and I hope more series to come. That is an amazing series of scale figures to see, where you get a big 1x6 scale with a relatively decent quality. We are talking about Good Smile over here. They are relatively good. So we have Akane Kurokawa, date style, 16,000 yen only. July release next year. Long wait for a simple figure, but this is a very attractive purchase. I can recommend it. Perhaps next week we'll get Kana, right? Yeah. This is a good buy, seriously. And for a figure photographer like me, yes, this is extremely photogenic. I'm kind of interested, but I don't see the need to pre-order it so soon because, the 5 quintessential quintuplet sister figures, yeah, they are widely available after release. So these are not the kind of figures where they will become extremely rare after release. There is no need to panic pre-order it. That is what I think. Moving on to the next one over here. Okay, now we are going into 1x7 scale. The first one is Matsukai Mao from Niji Sanji by Furyu, 22,000 yen, July release next year. Now for a Niji Sanji character or Vtuber character in general, I like the design on this a lot, and the colors are great. Red, black, white. These 3 colors, they always go very well together. So, once again, I sound repetitive, I know, but I think it is my job to be informative to you guys. Where some of you might be new here, Furyu, be careful of their figures. Like, sometimes their figures turn out to be a little bit less detailed than what was being suggested by the product photos they show you guys. Yeah, that is my experience so far. But still, rest assured that one day I will buy one or even a few scale figures by them if they make what I want to buy. Now, this Matsukai Mao figure is pretty close to what I like, so we will see. I'm just a bit hesitant to buy, to pre-order a Furyu figure too early because a lot of their figures bargain bin after release. She looks good, really. And especially the face on this figure, I have no complaints at all. From this angle, it looks a bit weird, but this is more of a viewing angle issue. Some anime figures, right, they only look good from a very specific angle, and then when you rotate it around, they start looking weird. This is one of those figures. From this angle, she looks amazing. See? Moving on to the next 1/7 scale, this is actually one of the highlight figures this week. I did not expect this figure of Natsume Shiki from Caf Stella to look so good after being painted. I've seen this figure like 3 times, man. Since last year's Wonder Festival Summer, and then Mega Hobby Expo, and then earlier this year One Fest again. And now finally, she is painted and up for pre-order. And she looks way better than what I was expecting after seeing the prototypes earlier, you know. So I'm not sure what to think about that window frame behind her. I would prefer without that, but keeping everything else, the base, the desk over there, and this figure is exceptionally detailed, man. She is quite detailed, you get extra features. Alice Glint is also an A- tier figure brand, which is very good. A to A-. Their figures are great, I have no problems with them. Now, looking at this face over here, look at the hair. The hair fringe in front, a lot of gradient paint work over there. The same thing can be said about her maid apron outfit. I hope that Alice Glint maintains the same exact paint work in the final product. If everything turns out to be flat with no shading later, yeah, I am going to roast them like no tomorrow. So they better keep the promise on whatever is being shown in these product pictures, and I will be very happy. Okay, and then another detail point. Man, those cookies over there, man, it is making me hungry. But I can't exactly eat something that hard, that rough in texture, 2 weeks after surgery, 2.5 weeks after surgery. I can't eat those kind of things yet. But those cookies over there is making me salivating, man, because they look so good. And bonus feature, you guys are going to love this one. Oh yeah, you get to undress her even just partially. And yeah, some of you are going to display this figure in this form, right? She looks great. Anyways, 25,000 yen. Given the entire package of this figure, I can highly recommend it. Yeah, this is a good buy. Moving on to the next scale figure. Okay, so we moved from one of the best pre-orders this week, the Caf Stella figure, to one of the worst right now. From Prisma Wing, she professed herself pupil of the wise man, seasonal anime. Mira, at 1/7 scale, 37k. Why? Prisma Wing, why? 37 is too much. It is way too much. July release next year. Now, this is a small figure, see? 25 centimeters including the base. The base is like 2 or 3 centimeters tall because this is kind of a lolly character. Compact base is always a nice thing because you save up on display space, but there is no way this whole thing here is worth 37,000 yen. This is ridiculous, man. And Prisma Wing is a serial offender in this regard. Every single figure they have placed on pre-order, like 9 out of 10 of them starts with the digit 3 in Japanese yen, and for that reason alone, I cannot recommend them at all. I know that the Japanese yen is very weak, but when Good Smile Company is putting out 1/6 scale figures at 16,000 yen, and we have Alice Glint putting up a very good looking figure at 25k, there is no way this thing is worth 37k, even with all those details on her outfit. This is outright overpriced. This is the price of a 1/4 scale by freeing, by the way. Okay, enough of the roasting. Moving on to the next one, we have 3 versions of Mai Sakurajima in this rabbit hoodie outfit by Kadokawa and KD Call, 1/7 scale. Okay, this is the mid-tier variant, 25,000 yen. You're getting Mai Sakurajima in this very nice looking outfit. I like it a lot, and this is also a very photogenic figure. There's a cheaper version, they call it Popular Edition, 3,000 yen cheaper, which I cannot recommend. I'm recommend this 25,000 yen version because you're getting a second faceplate and you can remove the hoodie, which is not available in the cheaper version. And then there is a third version, which is AmiAmi exclusive. That is like 30,000 yen, but you're getting Kadokawa special set with a B2 sized tapestry. That is not my kind of thing. That is not even on my radar. And for that reason alone, if I were to grab this figure of mine, it would be this version, the 25,000 yen standard version as I call it, coming out in March next year, which is quite soon as well. If you were to ask me what is the best Mai Sakurajima scale figure, even today, my answer is very straightforward. The spiritual version, where she is in a Chinese dress, sitting on a moon-shaped base, that is still the best Mai scale figure until today. But this is not bad at all, really. You can't go wrong with this one. Okay. And moving on to the next figure, Kotobukiya, 1/7 scale Dana Shear from YS8. I have no idea what is that. I'm assuming it is a game because this pretty much looks like an MMORPG game character in terms of design, you know, textbook game character design. Okay, Lacrimosa of Dana. Okay, coming out in April next year. Now, I know that this is exceptionally expensive for a Kotobukiya scale figure, but I'm sure you guys could tell from these pictures alone, this is next level. This is not what Kotobukiya normally makes. This is like a whole different level in terms of detail and paint work and everything else. I do like this figure a lot, even though I know nothing about her. I'm very similar to other figure collectors out there who buy figures based on character design, you know. People who collect ecchi figures, they buy it because they like the artwork the figure is based on. Same thing. I don't play the game, but I like the character design. It goes into my consideration. I might buy it one day. Now, 27,000 yen still feels a bit steep. It feels like 2,000 or 3,000 yen overpriced. Not much, 2,000 to 3,000 yen. But at the same time, this is the first scale figure of this character. I don't remember any other figures from this title over here. So might as well pick one up if you like what you're looking at, because Kotobukiya is a very consistent figure brand today. Moving on to the next one, Kotobukiya 1/7 scale Star Trek. Not exactly anime, isn't it? Anyways, let's give her a bit of coverage over here. Command Officer Bishoujo statue, 17,000 yen, March release. Yeah, this is more of Kotobukiya pricing territory over here. Any one of you fans of Star Trek, or do you prefer Star Wars? Let me know down in the comments below. I'm not exactly a big fan of this Western science fiction stuff, right? I think they are fine, they are kind of cool, but I'm not exactly a big fan of it. Oh, that tiny alien pistol over there. Great looking figure, but nothing much to say, man. I have nothing much else to say. This is part of... Oh, okay. The one on the left, she is already on pre-order for some time. Man, this is starting to look like a Power Ranger team, man. The color scheme. Okay, moving on to the next one. Re-release of Fluttershy Bishoujo statue from My Little Pony. 16,000 yen only, coming out in March. Yeah, not the kind of thing I would buy, but obviously My Little Pony is so popular that they have to re-release it. This one has quite a nice color scheme though. Yeah. No, in fact, every time I look at My Little Pony, the first thing that comes to mind is actually Barbie. Yeah. Moving on to the next scale figure, another re-release, Kotobukiya 1/8 scale art FXJ Shinmon Benimaru from Fire Force. I loved the first opening song by AmiAmi. I think the title was Spark, right? Spark, I think. Okay, so a dude, right? Yeah, this is a dude, so I won't be buying it. Is Fire Force getting a new season? I think so, right? A season 3, which is probably why they are re-releasing the figures in the first place. This isn't the first re-release from Fire Force. Okay, moving on to the next one. Another re-release, we have 1/7 scale Beetlejuice Bishoujo statue by Kotobukiya, 16,000 yen as well, March release next year. I like that tombstone base a lot. And the color scheme on this thing, I mean, imagine if her hair was black or grey or white, this figure would look really dull and boring, right? That green color hair over there, fluorescent green, is making the figure stand out so much. Great colors, man. Okay, I believe the next figure we are going into low cost figure territory. Yes, we are. So we'll begin with this 1/6 scale original character Jirai-chan by DG Girl. Another new Chinese figure brand, low budget brand, 6,000 yen only. Yeah, no brainer, right? This was a bestseller in AmiAmi for several days, a few days ago, for very obvious reasons. And you can swap out her backside with this figure, right? A different faceplate and also a different ass. Yeah, so I am not going to put a picture on screen because who knows what YouTube thinks about it. But apparently there is a second backside, a second ass part where you can swap out, and there are some spank marks on it, red color spank marks. Now that is something new. I've never seen that before in any scale figure, even by the ecchi figure brands from Japan. So for 6,000 yen, even though this is far from my favorite character design among original characters, I am seriously considering it just for that stupid gimmick of a swappable backside. Yeah, I'm interested. As for everyone else, she comes as highly recommended. Even though I know nothing about Digigirl, I mean, you can't go wrong at this price range. 6,000 yen, big scale figure with extra parts. Moving on to the next one, we have Honkai Star Rail Qing Xue, 1x10 scale under the Mietos low-cost figure series called Gift Plus at 4,800 yen, coming out in April next year. Now, some of you said exactly what I had in mind. She is already looking better than most pop-up rates based on these product pictures alone. Yeah, this is a very detailed, low-cost figure. And if you don't mind the 1x10 scale, by all means go and pre-order one. I can recommend it. Mietos is also one of the better Chinese brands out there. One of the best, in fact, like top 5 best. So you don't have to worry too much about the brand. Next, low-cost figure. By Golden Head, we have Kinako. They have made a few Kinako figures, the same cat girl, but in different outfit. April release at 7,300 Japanese yen. Granted, this is not a big figure, a small figure. And if you like what you're looking at, by all means pre-order it. I'm not a big fan of this one. I prefer their previous Kinako figure where she is wearing a white t-shirt with the word Sakana on it, a fish on it. I think that one is a lot nicer, and she was holding a pillow if I'm not mistaken. That was also quite cheap. I think that one was 8,000 yen or so. I prefer that one a lot more than this one. This one feels a bit boring to look at. Next, low-cost figure from Good Smile Pop-Up Parade, we have Monica white dress version from Doki Doki Literature Club, 5,000 yen, March release. I've heard so much about Doki Doki Literature Club, but I have no idea what it is. I've never watched it before. Is it like very funny or something? Now, this is a figure so plain and simple that it is impossible for Good Smile to screw up. So yeah, if you are interested, maybe you can pre-order it, but I'm not one to pre-order pop-up rates unless we are talking about Holo Live stuff, where their value almost always goes up by double after release. Moving on to the next pop-up rate, we have Noah from Persona 5 Royal, 4,000 yen, February release. This Noah looks a bit crappy, to be honest. I don't like her face that much. Yeah, but once again, this is a small and low detail figure. You want something better. Mega House and Amakuni make scale figures of her, I think. Not cheap, of course, 20,000 yen plus, but this is for those of you with a tight budget, obviously. And the next Persona 5 figure, we have a re-release of Joker, 4,000 yen, December release, very soon. This is actually quite detailed for a pop-up rate. I mean, the outfit is quite nice. And the last figure on HLJ for today, Statue Legend, Chocolata. So they call him chocolate because his skin is chocolate. So racist. Okay, anyways, by Medicos Entertainment, they have a hold on the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure license. 8,800 yen, January release. This is mint chocolate, man. I mean, the green color hair over there, mint chocolate, which I hate so much. I know that some of you love mint chocolate ice cream and so on, but to me it feels like eating toothpaste. No, I just couldn't get used to it, man, whenever I try it. Okay, moving on to AmiAmi for some exclusive items. The first one, as usual, Fat's company needs to label their figures as exclusive to convince you guys to pre-order it, because they often always bin after release. Well, that is true for Girls Frontline. For Uma Musume, no, I don't see them bin that often compared to girls' front line. Uma Musume is holding on their value quite well actually. Okay, so this is Admire Vega. 1/7 skill, 27,000 yen. Yes, expensive for a Fat Company figure. And I sure as hell do hope that all those gold color trims on her outfit, which looks amazing in these product pictures, please Fat Company, I'm begging you. I'm begging you guys not to screw it up. Yeah, I mean, Fat Company is almost synonymous with paint bleeding, you know? So I am quite concerned about all those tiny gold color trims on her outfit. But if they could get it right, this is an amazing figure to have, regardless of my opinion of Fat Company. So yeah, should you pre-order it? The big question. What do you think? I don't even know how to answer this question, man. Mainly because I don't collect Uma Musume, but for those of you who do, maybe it is a good idea to pre-order it. Okay, moving on to the next one, we have the worst skill figure of the week. I'm sorry, DMM Factory, but this has to be hands down the worst figure you guys have put on pre-order since your company began existing. Was it a year or 2 years ago? Holo from Spice and Wolf, 25,000 yen for this piece of shit over here, where her face looks absolutely horrendous. Even more so from this angle, does not really look like Holo at all. Maybe this is based on the manga or whatever the original material is, but it still looks terrible. And to add insult to injury, to add salt to any wounds, I love doing that so much. The color and the paint work on the hair, yes, there is very good gradient and shading over there, except the problem over here is that the shading looks more like diarrhea, the kind of thing I would see in a public washroom. Oh, and to top things off, plain white shirt, no shading. All of this for 25,000 yen. Please stay away from this figure. There are so many other better Holo figures. Yep. Moving on to the next one. Oh, this is a painful one. So, one of the best looking Rias Gramory figure in years, man, by Kadokawa. I had my eyes on her ever since she was revealed in Wonder Festival way back late last year. And what did we get in the end? An AmiAmi exclusive. This is so sad. Yeah, Kadokawa special set for almost 48,000 yen, or you can settle for the normal version for 37,000 yen, almost, which is still expensive AF, but for a very good reason, you see. If you really like what you're looking at with this figure over here, I would say pre-order it before you regret it, because so far, every single Rias Gramory figure and also Arcano, their value just went all the way up to the moon after release. Even though some of them are very bad figures of her, like those made by Griffin Enterprises, it did not matter, the value went up. Freeing 1/4, the value is also extremely high right now. So Rias Gramory, if you like her, pre-order it, period. And the same thing can be said about this Arcano figure. This is a pair to that Rias figure. So if you pre-ordered Rias, you need this Arcano as well. They are a set, which makes this extra painful when they are 48,000 yen each. Or if you go for the normal version, which is still a very pricey 37,000 yen, but it can't be helped, right? You know that it is going to get even more expensive after release. That is the problem. Yeah, pretty unfortunate if you ask me. Okay, moving on to the next one. We have Binding Creator's Opinion, Kanae. This is a 1/6, not 1/4. 27,500 yen, coming out in March next year. I like the colors, but what is up with having two cones covering her opai? What kind of outfit design is that? That looks like a toilet plunger to me. Yeah, you take the toilet plunger, you remove the handle, and then you stick it over there. I know my imaginations are next level, but that was totally the first thing that came to mind, a toilet plunger, when I saw the outfit design. So I'm not really liking it for that reason. And the last figure on AmiAmi and Ecchi figure, oh, this is good looking. I have never been a fan of Raita's art style. It looks weird from an anatomical standpoint. Giant opai, giant hips, but the legs and the waist are so skinny, it looks weird to me. I understand that it is a subjective art style though. Okay, but the face on this is sweet. So I feel a bit conflicted. Misane Yukata version 1x5 skill for 30,000 yen by Frog. That is a great price for 1x5. So if you like what you're looking at, maybe consider picking one up. Yeah. And that is all for AmiAmi. Last stop. Ninin game. Hehe. We have a very degenerate figure this week by Insight, which we will get into in a second. I was contemplating on putting that figure's name as the title of today's video, but better not, because that is obviously very degenerate, very cultured, very 18 plus figure, so better not. Okay, so the first one over here, we'll go through them very quickly since I can't show you much. Oh, Sugoi Dekai Opai, housewife. The secret swimming class, Gooch, 1x6 skill at 19k by Insight, or 27k at 1x4 skill, obviously. Yeah, she is almost Hadaka, nothing much. Moving on to the next one over here, the exact opposite. Lolly with no clothes. Subasa after above, once again, 1x6 skill, 19k, or 1x4 at 27k. I would go for this one, obviously. Okay, next one. Okay, this is the most degenerate figure of the year. At least it is a main contender among the genuine figures. So we have a lolly impregnated by tentacles, and I'm not sure if putting pictures on screen is a good idea on YouTube, but anyways, are there any of you out there who has a pregnancy fetish? Please let me know down in the comments below. Don't worry, I won't be looking down on you. I won't be judging you. All you have is my respect, man. Yeah, so 1x6 skill, 19,000 yen, and 1x4 skill, which is the most glorious one at 27,000 yen. Please buy one. Any one of you, please buy one and send me the pictures. Okay, moving on to the next one. This is by Fox Japan, original character, big. Okay, once again, Sugoi Dekai Opai, housewife and a secret swimming class, Gooch. Yeah, the same figure as the Insight version earlier, except she is wearing some clothes, right? 19k and 27k. And then the next one here, original character. Wow, so many Sugoi Dekai this week. Succubus and the secret extracurricular lessons. Yeah. Ranunculus. What a nice name. Ranunculus. 1x6 skill by Fox Japan, 19k and also 27k. This is actually quite a safe looking figure, to be fair. And the last two figures for today, a very safe looking lolly figure. I feel like I've covered this before last week. I can't be sure. My memory is a bit hazy because that tentacle figure earlier screwed my brains over, you know. Okay, so this is Honoka-chan. 19k and 27k depending on the skill, and that is all for genuine figures on pre-order this week. Okay, now we shall move on to third-party resin figures making use of OshGK.com, which is also this channel's affiliate partner, but for third-party resin figures. The number of figures this week, not too many as well. Yeah. So we shall begin with, female characters, obviously. We shall begin with the usual Anya Forger first. I want to get all of the Anyas of the way first, you know. Two of them this week. The first one is Anya Go to Hell Baby. Okay, Sniper. We had a Sniper Anya as well last week for $99. No release date yet. And this is what her face looks like. Yeah, we all buy Anya for the memes, for the face expressions. This is not too bad looking, but my favorite one is this one over here. And why do I say this is my favorite version? It is because of the second version over here, Sinister Expression Face by ZH Studio. Oh, this is... this is awesome. This is what Anya is all about, isn't it? Man, I mean $99 feels a bit expensive for a small resin figure, a tiny one, 18 centimeters or so I think at this scale. But obviously resin is a more expensive material, I understand that. And secondly, we buy Anya for the memes once again. So this is one of the better looking face expressions I've seen on any Anya figure in a long while. Will you get one? Moving on to the next one, we have one Dragon Ball figure, Bulma by Hero Believe Studio. This is an early announcement and we have like 1 or 2 pictures only. Bulma in bikini, nothing special to be honest. Can't say I could recommend this one. This is the realistic version, but apparently there is also an anime head sculpture. Where do we have any pictures? Yes, we do. Great. Yeah. This is the anime version. Normally we go for both, right? Anime head plus realistic head, and there is 1x4 and 1x6 scale to choose from, but no pricing yet. Okay, we have a few One Piece figures. Once again, early bird pre-order, early announcement, and nothing much else. One single picture over here. Wow. Oh, deluxe and standard version. How many Nami figures in this striped bikini do we need, man? There are too many of them out there. Yeah. Face, I don't see a problem. Moving on to the next one, another Nami figure in bikini again, but apparently this won't cost more than $99. No scale mentioned. 24 centimeters, this is more like 1x7, not 1x8. $99, fair enough. Could be less than that. This is not the final price and we only have an illustration over here. Next, One Piece figure, we have Carrot from Pofang Studio, $257 at 1x6 scale. And no release date again. A lot of third parties nowadays, they don't announce a release date because they can't be sure how much delay there would be. So we have a closer look over here. 2 figures in one. Now $257 is great for what you're getting. Oh, you can display them separately. Now that is fantastic over there. I mean, $257 is a good price, very reasonable. Moving on to the next one, we have two Boa Hancock figures actually. The first one is by Old Timers Joy Studio. Okay, 1x6 scale, yep, March release 2025. A few colors to choose from, right? Red color, which is her signature color. There's a white color version as well. Red color, Boa Hancock Max. And white Boa Hancock Max. You get extra parts, I think. Yeah, extra customable parts. So obviously, $156 and $189, not a big difference, right? You go all out. I still prefer her in red. I don't know why. I think it looks more natural on her, a natural fit. Next figure. Okay, early bird pre-order, early announcement. No pictures, nothing, just a Hadaka pic of Boa Hancock. Why would you release a teaser pic like this? And this reminds me of those low-cost title figures Aqua Float series, I think. Yeah, that spoils my impression of this expensive resin figure over here of Boa Hancock. This is an Aqua Float figure, man. Hot Girls Studio, $159. I can't recommend it. Yeah. Okay, moving on to the next one. We have one single Eva figure. Ayanami Rei from Crow Studio in Bunny Girl outfit, standard and deluxe version. There are a few ways to display this figure. Deluxe version, you get a semi-Hadaka outfit to swap out. And this is available in 1x4 or 1x7. If you want the Hadaka parts, you need to buy 1x4. Unfortunately, $583 for the deluxe package. Standard is $368. So let's have a look over here. This is more like an alternative option, a different design. For those of you who want to display a different AmiAmi Rei next to freeing 1x4 and Good Smile Pop-Up Red XL. But otherwise, this is not very unique, not very special in any way, you know. Yeah. Moving on to the next figure, we have a licensed 1x4 scale Zephyros from Destiny Child by Tri-Eagles Studio. $515 for a licensed resin figure is not bad at all, to be honest. Many licensed 1x4 scales can go all the way up to $700 or $800 very easily. Character design, very attractive. And this almost looks like, an Azur Lane Race Queen style out figure to me for some reason. Yeah, must be the design, right? For fans of Destiny Child, you might want to give this one a serious look. I actually like the character design a lot. The outfit design and everything. I love it. Yeah. Okay, moving on to the next one. 1x4 scale original character Nessie by Swan Song Studio. $1,000 for this piece of... Yes, I was about to insult the figure because there is nothing in this picture that tells me this is worth $1,000. But maybe I'm jumping to conclusions a bit too early over here. This is the only picture we get, right? There are no other pictures yet. And I am suspecting, judging by what is in the background over here, yeah, we're getting a giant weapon and even a bigger diorama base on top. And if that is the case, maybe this is worth $1,000, but it is a bit too early to tell at this point. Yeah. I just don't understand it, man. How can you show us one single picture, which is not even the complete picture of the figurine, and then expect someone to drop $1,000 on this thing? I just don't get it. But apparently, this is common practice among third-party resin figure shops because, they are fighting for business. Everyone else are doing the same thing. They have to follow or otherwise they lose out on sales, potentially. Moving on to the next resin figure, we have Panty and Stocking with the garter belt. This is Panty only. Where is the other character? By PZI Studio. $133 for this chibi figure. Feels kind of expensive. Height is only 20 centimeters. This is a tough sell, man. $133 for this. I can't recommend this one at all. Nope. Low detail figure as well. Moving on to the next one. Oh, one of the most cultured figures this week, together with that pregnant figure earlier from PP Saw Studio. Once again, we have Goblin Slayer, Sword Maiden, enjoying herself with two other goblins. I want to use words that are a lot more crude, but once again, YouTube might have a trouble with me on that. I wanted to use words that are even more offensive and more crude, but who knows what YouTube thinks about it, so I better stay away from all those crude remarks. Okay, so this is an early bird pre-order, no price yet, but PP Jang Studio, they do all these super cultured figures for a low cost. They are normally not very expensive, so my guess over here with this entire set of technically 3 figures would be $300, yeah, at 1/6 scale. $300, maybe plus minus 10%, but I don't see this one being that expensive. Okay, moving on to the next one from Lawang Nieme Studio, which is also well known for cultured figures. Man, we have all these companies coming out this week. Original character Tao Chui, Moonlight Beauty. 1/4 scale standard version is going for $500. And deluxe version is going for $551 only, extra $50 only. What are you getting? Golden shower parts. Yeah, that green tea that you love so much. Not my kind of figure. I'm not a fan of these big, very thick character designs. Not my kind of thing. So no, this is a no for me. Moving on to the next figure over here from We Art Doing Studio. I know, weird name, but this is the very same studio that designed that Burger Fairy figure, which went viral on my Facebook page, right? Okay, original character again, Angel of Light, and then there are 3 color options, black, blue, and pink, $235 each. Now, what is it so special about this figure, right? Let me show you guys. I don't like her face, to be honest, but apparently she has some kind of, I don't know, special toy shoved up underneath her skirt, and yeah, it glows really brightly. Wow. So imagine having the brightest ever LED light built into your favorite toy, and then you have it shoved up your backside and it glows like this. So I don't even know what to think. Like, should I be praising this for originality, or should I be cringing at it for being a stupid idea? I have no idea how to react to this, to be honest. Yeah. But the face of the figure, there is nothing quite wrong with it, just that not my kind of face. I don't like it. Yeah, something subjective. Moving on to the next one. This figure was on pre-order last week. Now we have an update on the price, $170 only. For this original character, no one can refuse mating team leader. Mating in office after work. Yeah. Fabric cloth covering her body. I don't like it. Moving on to the next one, we have Childhood Mikasa Ackerman from Attack on Titans by Comic Hero Studio. $91 only because this is a lolly figure, small figure at 1/6 scale. No release date yet. Yeah, very small, simple figure for $91. Sometimes I wanted to say that it is expensive because, once again, $91 buys you a very decent entry-level scale PVC figure, but at the same time, I understand that resin is a more expensive material. So sometimes I'm not sure when to call something cheap or overpriced. Yeah, so many factors involved. Moving on to the next figure over here, we have another early bird pre-order without a price yet. Nezuko from Demon Slayer by Anonymous Studio. Now, this is obviously for those of you who want to loot Nezuko, but I just don't like her face at all. Oh, that looks terrible. That is not Nezuko, man. Is this supposed to be an adult version of Nezuko? Yes, it is, obviously. But it still looks terrible. I don't like her face at all, man. Available in 1/6 and 1/4, no price, no release date yet. Next figure, we have two third-party Hatsune Miku figures this week. The first one is by Kiki Studio, Hatsune Miku Summer Fantasy Project Sekai. Okay, so you can buy her unpainted, and this is a very good figure to practice painting on because it is relatively simple, especially for those of you beginners, or you can get her painted for $191. Now, this is what a proper third-party Miku figure should be like. Not those extra giant oppai for no reasons, Yeah, that is not Miku at all. This is a very accurate representation of her. The next one over here, the giant oppai, I just complained. Here we go. So we have Hatsune Miku bundled version. She is enjoying Blu-ray disc S and, the 4-letter B word. I don't even know if I can say it on YouTube. That is the ridiculous part. I don't think I can, yeah. By Fish Head Studio, $235 for this Miku figure. Yeah, they make figures like this because they actually sell, right? So I'm sure there are a few of you out there secretly hitting the pre-order button on this one. After all, her face is actually quite nice, to be honest. Yeah. I actually like her face over here. Okay, moving on to the third Hatsune Miku figure. Not 2, but 3 of them. But this is just an announcement. Nothing yet. Just a silhouette by Paper Crane Studio. Yeah, nothing much to see here. Next figure. Oh, FGO. Okay, Minamoto no Raiko by Swallow Studio. You have smiling face and excited face. The one I'm looking at is obviously the better one, the excited face. $413 at 1/4 scale. Fair enough. 1/4 scales, they easily go $500 to $800. $413, that is fine. And does she have any tentacles down there? Yeah, tentacle base. Now this is becoming one of the best 1/4 scale figures this week to pre-order, isn't it? She does look like Raiko a lot over here. Almost exactly the same as the game character design. They did not pull that realistic face BS on this one, and I'm happy to see this figure so much. Yeah, this is one of the highlights 1/4 scales this week, man, together with the licensed Tri-Eagles Studio figure earlier from Destiny Child. Next one here, now we are going into Honkai territory. Honkai Star Rail Firefly by Starry Sky Studio. They are known for Degenerate figures as well. And yeah, while there is a listing of $399 over here, not yet confirmed, I am inclined to believe this is more like 200 plus territory because figures by this brand, they are not that expensive. There are a few of you who gave me feedback. You pre-ordered or purchased the bow figure, Ganyu bow figure. They were great from what I heard, and they were not too expensive. So yeah, I am predicting around $250 for this one. If you would like a figure of Firefly in this kind of position. Yeah, I had to censor it because, you know, YouTube, they detect stuff not only based on the amount of skin shown, but certain poses will also flag the video. So that's one thing to think about. Moving on to the next Honkai figure. An update from last week. I covered this figure last week. Now we finally have a price. So yeah, two versions, save version and Hadaka version. 1x4 scale is $361. 1x7 scale is going for $206. So there we go. Yeah, 1x4 scale is not too expensive on this one. Moving on to the next one over here, another new figure of Alicia. We actually get a lot of Alicia third-party figures. Honkai Impacted though, not Sariel. By Arctic Wolf Studio. How many figures of Alicias do you guys want to make, man? It feels like Arctic Wolf Studio has done so many figures of her. Yeah, quoted price over here is $282, but it is the TBD to be what is TBD? To be announced? No, TBA. To be announced is TBA. But anyways, I'm also expecting between $250 to $300 for this figure of Alicia over here. And she has a great face. Yeah, Arctic Wolf Studio, you can trust them when it comes to faces of their figures. Moving on to the next one, Honkai Impacted Seal. I think I covered this figure last week as well. Just that I am repeating it because we now have a price. It is a very expensive $482, but I'm not too surprised at all given what you're getting with the base and everything, and also a Hadaka part, right? Yeah, my favorite part of this figure, definitely the face. I love that evil face so much. Okay, moving on to the next one, we have two Genshin Impact figures. You see, Genshin Impact is slowly declining in popularity among the third parties even. Meanwhile, the genuine figures, brands, they don't even care at all. So Genshin Impact might as well go down in history as one of the biggest failures when it comes to adoption into merchandise by genuine licensed bigger brands. Keqing, cute version. Very attractive, I have to be honest here. Very attractive one. Very cute, very adorable. By HH Studio. $493. The face alone will convince quite a few people to pre-order it. Moving on to the next Genshin figure, we have Wedding Dress Furina by Aquatic Elf Studio. Okay, so you can get her long head or short head as usual. I actually prefer her short head to be honest. $254, $254 as well, and you can get two different heads, right? One figure, two heads for $279. I think this makes the most sense. You're not getting two entire figures. As for Furina, my favorite one was the one that barely had any clothes on last week. I think it was Starry Sky Studio from last week. The Hadaka Bunny suit. Because that one has the best face. Yeah, best face of any Furina figure so far. Do check out that one. Moving on to the next figure, we are now going into Azur Lane territory. I believe two figures for this week. The first one is Chain High at 1x4 scale, standard version, $500, deluxe version, $567. Extra parts, right? Yeah, it is not two entire figures, but extra parts with that extra $67 over there. Chain High, we do have a number of scale figures at 1x7, 1x6 by genuine figure brands. 1x4 scale, yeah, this is one of the better ones to consider. Very nice looking face, no complaints at all, no realistic face BS. This is what I want from third parties, man. Yeah. I'm not the only one complaining about realistic faces. Oh, this is so good. Everything you're getting in this picture over here, starting from $500. Yeah. Amazing value right there, man. Okay, moving on to the next figure. Sandwich from Azur Lane. Yeah, there are way too many figures of Sandwich by third parties. So many of them that I've lost count. This is just another one in a very simple pose. So this doesn't feel very special to me. But at the same time, this is 1x4 scale at $344 only. So she is not too expensive, right? And that face over there, what you're getting with this figure, yeah, she looks fine. Just that, you know, unless you insist 1x4 scale, there are amazing St. Louis figures by Alter and another genuine figure brand, I can't remember the name, at 1x7 though, not 1x4, but those were amazing. And I'm contemplating on buying those after release. Moving on to the next one, this is an update from last week. There are no Blue Archive figures this week. This was from last week. We get a price update of deluxe version $298, standard version $255. Yeah. So I won't repeat things over with this figure, just that I know that some of you will get her just because her pantsu is almost down. Okay, moving on to the next one, we have two Zenless Zone 0 figures over here. The first one is Hoshimi Miyabi by Alice 21 Studio. $258, not yet confirmed, but I believe that this is the normal price range for Triple Z figures by Alice 21 Studio. And this is one of those studios that I am keeping an eye on because I really like their quality, their work, based on pictures I've seen from users and from the factory pictures. So, I mean, yes, Apex Toys is going all in on Triple Z. They have scale figures coming. But if you want something a bit more lewd, but at the same time not too much, Alice 21 Studio should be near the top of your pick over here for third-party resins when it comes to Zenless Zone 0 figures. Yeah. The second Triple Z figure by the same company, this is an update from last week as well. We now have a price, so two figures over here, Qingyi, two figures for $279 standard version. No, $226 for one figure. Deluxe version, where you get the Hadaka version, $254, and Supreme version, two figures. Oh, $279. Come on, the price difference is so minimal. Get the Supreme version for $279. And the last figure for today is from Wuthering Waves, Jin Si and Changli by Godpan Studio. Both are completely Hadaka for $316. Two figures at 1x6 scale for $316. Yeah, fair enough. It feels a bit overpriced if I have to be honest, but just a bit because they don't have any clothes on, which means less parts to paint, less parts to make for the figure. So the production cost should be low, right? Yeah, as for the faces of these two figures, I think they look fine, but I'm sure there will be other figure brands who will do better, right? And that is all for figures on pre-order this week. Which one will you pre-order? Let me know down in the comments below. And until then, if you found this video helpful or informative or entertaining even, yeah, give this video a like, a thumbs up, and subscribe to this channel for more anime figure content every week. Until then, I'll see you guys again very soon. Goodbye.